Hi, everybody. It's Paula here. How are you this beautiful Friday morning? I'm so happy to be here this morning with you. I'm uh I'm still okay, this is saying something. Okay. I am still drinking my morning coffee and I'm here to chat with you about abundance. I have my notes ready so I don't forget anything important. So, I've been personally working on um, abundance. Abundance is our birthright. So, all my life, I've been searching for abundance outside of myself, looking for it in different places, in attention and love of other people, finances, money, always thinking that it is outside of myself. But abundance actually is right inside us. We are part of nature. Which is abundance. So let me talk about why this is important. This is abundance is important because most of us are conditioned to live in a scarcity mindset. What that means is that we live in a constant survival mode, constant lack, constantly feeling I can't, I'm limited, I have to stay in a job that I don't like, I have to stay in a relationship that I don't like, I don't have the money to do this or that, or whatever the story is, whatever the limiting belief is. That's the reality, that's the perception of reality that we live in. And from that place, the experience of life is pain. The experience of life is suffering. The experience of life is victimhood. The experience of life is happening to me versus life is happening for me. Do you notice the difference between those two? So, in order for us to live a fulfilled life, have an unprecedented life experience, have a realization that our vision and our dreams absolutely can come true in this life, and it's actually up to us. Now we are talking about living life rather than just surviving. We're talking about thriving. Other things that people are experiencing right now: stress, overwhelm, not knowing what's going to happen next in life because we still have pandemic happening around us. People are losing their jobs and people are still stuck at home. So the question is like, yeah, how do we still find joy and gratitude and abundance in all that? We can find it because it's all inside of us. We can find it because it is up to us to decide how we perceive our life experience and our life circumstances. So I am here to talk about 5 steps that I have compiled together, the 5 most important steps. I'm sure there are other ones too, but these 5 principles are really the cornerstones of how to create abundance in your life. And this is a practice because, like I said, we've been conditioned to live in this life of it's not possible, I can't, I have to, I need that we don't have it, you know, that we need something. I need money. Actually, no, none of us needs money. We get to have prosperity financially. We get to have prosperity in our relationships, and especially prosperity with children. If you look at children, they are very abundant in their needs, their bids for attention, right? their tantrums, whatever it is. That's abundance. So part of it is not discriminating how abundance looks like. So principle number one is realizing you are already abundant. It's already within you, just like everything else. Peace, love, compassion, all that's inside you. You don't need to look for it outside of yourself. It is your birthright to be prosperous and abundant. Look at nature around you. Every single organism, creature, plant, animal, they want to grow and they are designed to grow to their biggest, greatest, most magnificent selves that they can. That's what the nature has designed for all of us. And it is only our own limiting mindset and the scripting that we have received as a child from our parents, from the society, from school, from culture, from external circumstances that we have learned to believe and internalize as a sense of lack in our lives. So we get to uncover the truth beneath that story of scarcity. Underneath that, we can go below the stress, we can go below the overwhelm, go below the scarcity, all that, and find a fountain of abundance inside of us. When we focus on that, we have unlimited energy, we have unlimited desire to give, to be generous, unlimited love, unconditional love. And what that opens up for parents is a completely life-changing relationship with your child. Because as you all know, that relationship and that emotional connection with the child is so important. But what comes in the way so many times is parents being anxious, parenting from fear, parenting from control, parenting from dominating, parenting from not having the energy and stress and overwhelm. And this is the life experience of a child, then they experience their parent like that. And they too are scripted with a mindset of scarcity and lack, not enough love, attention, whatnot. So this is why this is so important work for all of us. I also believe, especially for parents and any one of us who works with children. So principle number one is realizing you have the birthright for abundance. You are already abundance, and let's stop looking for abundance outside of ourselves. So how to practice that? One way is just to connect with nature. Go to the ocean, go look up the sky, look at how vast, how magnificent like the ocean is. And you're just like the ocean because there is no separation between beings. And that ocean is built from tiny little droplets of water that combine into this magnificent, powerful force. And you have that within you. Even doing some visualization around, I am the ocean. When I do abundance visualization, I visualize myself as a fountain. So that fountain is just keeps going, right? It's instantly and constantly just being fulfilled. It's just being whatever it is. It's just being in circulation. So I love that a fountain as the um, metaphor for abundance. So realizing that you have it in you already. This divine abundance, divine light, energy, whatever you want to call it, it was given to you already at birth. We just need to discover that. Okay. The second principle is opening to receive. Just like me, so many people out there believe that we have to do everything by ourselves. We don't accept support, offers of support. We don't accept love. We say no to compliments. If you think about, how uncomfortable that is sometimes to receive compliments, and what that does, it blocks the flow of abundance. It's kind of like putting a dam onto abundance, because abundance is energy. It's flowing all around and through you. So when we block something, now we say to the universe, like, no, thank you. I do not want that. So that's why it is important to actually open your heart and opening to receive. And the reason oftentimes we don't receive is because receiving is vulnerable. So we don't want to feel the discomfort of vulnerability to receive. Sometimes we believe we are not worth getting compliments, for example. So being very mindful, simple things. Many times it happens to me, I'm carrying all these grocery bags and stuff. People ask, can I help you? My old self was always saying no, 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 no. I got it. I'm strong. But now I say yes, because I am saying yes to abundance in my life. So apply that to your children too. If we block they're asking to play, they're asking to do this, and so many little requests. Pay attention to me, listen to me, do this with me. Let's receive that, because what the child is actually doing is is telling you, I want to spend time with you. I not want to be with you. I want to get to know you. So as much as we can, let's receive that. Let's receive those invitations from children. And sometimes it means dropping everything, dropping the to-do list, dropping whatever else is urgent going on, because as I always say, let's focus on the things that are important. So the practice for receiving is to say yes, really being mindful, like, okay, why would I not say yes? Like, why would I say no? Because usually the word is no, 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 don't have the time. No, 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 no. That's the default of the brain. Like, what if we would say yes, kind of like in the movie The Yes Man, Jim Carrey movie? It's kind of funny. Goes a little overboard, but you know, let's say yes to more things in life. Okay. So practice receiving with open heart, even tiny things, even if it's a compliment or whatnot. Principle number 3 is clearing and letting go. We have so much clutter: physical clutter, mental clutter, emotional clutter, um, even clutter of memories, of holding to the past, of resentments, of anger, of not forgiving, of not letting go, of needing to be right and righteous, needing to be right about something, like holding on to our pride. At what price? Sometimes we don't even realize, like, whenever we hold on to something, again, we are blocking the flow of abundance. Nothing, if my cup is full, nothing can go in there. That's so the universe works in these principles of energies, right? So if my cup is full of self-doubt, limiting beliefs, my emotional self is not pure and clean, my closet is a mess, because every as above so below, everything is related to everything. So abundance doesn't have any room to come in to our lives. So clearing the physical clutter looks like actually starting somewhere. Clean your purse. I did. Clean the wallet. Do a cleanse. I've been getting rid of things that I don't need, donating them, repurposing them, whatever it is. I'm sending a message to the universe that abundance is welcome in my life. Keeping a clean and clear mind, letting go of worry thoughts, because worry is really our prayers for the very things to happen that we don't want to happen, because whatever we pay attention to, it grows. So if we pay attention to uh, to the pain and the suffering and the worry and all this, that's exactly what our life experience will be like when we pay attention to what is actually coming in. That is, now we are in the flow. Now we are focusing on the abundance itself. So this clearing piece is really, really important for the abundance to come in. There's a Zen master story that I like to always tell about this, where this, important university professor went to a Zen master, had this meeting with him, and the professor was just talking, 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 and the Zen master is just listening. The Zen master asked, can I get you some tea? And the professor said yes. So the tea comes in, and the Zen master starts pouring the tea and pouring, 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 and it goes everywhere. It overflows. And the professor gets mad and gets upset and angry, like, what are you doing? Can't you see? It's overflowing, it's going everywhere. And the Zen master said, like, yes, this is your first lesson. I can only start teaching you when you actually empty your cup, when you clear your cup, because I cannot pour into a full cup. So it's a really significant and important lesson. So do a very concrete practice around this clearing and letting go. It's really, really important. Like, I love it how concrete and practical this work actually is. Number 4, radical gratitude. I call it radical gratitude because we are just used to seeing gratitude as something as, I'm grateful for my health, my friends, my family, all these things that are going well. It's easy to be grateful for those. But gratitude actually is not conditional, just like love is not conditional. That we get to be grateful for all. And I really mean all. Even even the traumas and the bad things that happen to us. I'm a trauma therapist, and one of the biggest parts of trauma healing is that gratitude and forgiveness. So that at the end of trauma therapy, these are so powerful experiences. Everybody's in tears when we get to the healing point of trauma, where people realize, like, they tell me I am grateful for what happened to me, because if this didn't happen, then I wouldn't be this way. I wouldn't have learned this. I wouldn't have whatever it is. So being grateful for everything, it's not for us to judge or discriminate between what we are grateful for and what we are. Gratitude is a state of being. Gratitude is a state of being. So recently, when I got a parking ticket and all that, really big one, I was grateful for the experience. I chose gratitude. I didn't say, oh, this is hard. This is hard to be grateful. If I say it's hard to be grateful, then it's going to be hard. But I choose gratitude, and I learned so many things about myself and about life by getting this big parking ticket. And then releasing that, paying off and releasing that money with gratitude. I'm happy to pay it. It supports so many other different people. I'm actually contributing in so many ways by paying this ticket off versus being really upset and angry about it. So radical gratitude means that you are grateful for all. So again, these are muscles that we get to build. So gratitude can start with the simple 5-minute gratitude journal. If you Google 5-minute gratitude journal, you'll find out about that and how that looks like. It literally takes 5 minutes. I also recommend to have some practices at home with your family, so that at dinner table, everybody talks about things that they are grateful for. So you're giving your child a beautiful gift by already teaching them gratitude at a young age, so that's their template. Their template is not scarcity. Their template is not complaining and whining and judging. I use this analogy of like, I mean, imagine if you would have a friend who would complain about everything all the time, just complaining about things are wrong, that's wrong, being judgmental, being critical, not being happy with anything. Would you ever want to go visit that friend? Would you want to enter a household like that? I wouldn't. But that's exactly what we do. Abundance doesn't want to come to our lives if we just whine and complain and blame about stuff. It's like, thanks, but no thanks. That's not for me. That's why we get to be grateful for everything. And it's amazing what shifts this just start happening when we do that. So starting a gratitude journal is a great way to start building that gratitude muscle so that it's automatically, we can shift easily. Like, of course, when I got the ticket, when bad things happen, we're going to have feelings. It's not like we are going to become robots or anything. We get to acknowledge and be so kind and understanding and compassionate towards our feelings. But then we don't need to stay in those feeling state. It's like wind that just flows through us. This is what these emotional states are, and that you are choosing how you feel at any given moment in time. That's really, really important to understand that you actually have the power to do that. Final principle is trust and have faith, which means letting go of control. One of the hardest things to do. One of the hardest things to do because our egos think that it's right, it knows everything, it knows how things are supposed to look like, it has expectations, it sets parameters and measures for things, wants to control so many ways that we don't even realize sometimes. Like, work with parents and we start talking about control, and I point out, I give feedback, that those are controlling ways to interact with your child. And sometimes it's like brain explosion because people didn't even realize, like, oh, I'm controlling. I'm controlling. I have an agenda. I have an agenda. It never works really well to have an agenda in a relationship because when we have an agenda, we tend to manipulate and control. So, being really super aware about that control, and then having faith and letting go, trusting, surrendering. It's like, okay, I'm going to step off this cliff and I know that I'm going to be cared for, because the principle of abundance means that you have no desires or needs that go unfulfilled, that the desires are instantly and constantly met through the practice of abundance, not focusing on anything outside of yourself, but really these five simple principles. And the only thing it takes is the fact of time for it all to come to you, because everything is energy. Whatever you put out there is whatever comes back. We are all connected. The person you see on the street, your child, is you. Is you. That's why we always get to begin with ourselves when we are creating change and transformation in this world. We are responsible, and our sphere of influence, our circle of concern is within our own ways of being. So, having faith and trusting, surrendering, letting go. Good practice that I have for this is just simply listing what are 5 reasons that I should trust myself and 5 reasons that I should trust the universe, so that you can already like put yourself in the mindset of trusting and having faith versus our default mode, which is not trusting that things are going to work out, not having hope. So many people, so many times people feel like, oh, something good happened, so now something bad is going to happen. And the remedy for that is gratitude, gratitude and joy. So those are the 5 principles for abundance. You're already abundant, opening to receive, clearing and letting go, radical gratitude, and trust and having faith. Okay. So I do hope that this serves you. It is a practice. Be consistent. Do this every day. Do this every day. And if you stay tuned here on Facebook, if you're on my email list, I am actually thinking about doing a course. So, a 5-week course on abundance. So, stay tuned and check out my emails and check the Facebook here. Because I think it's sometimes important to have some support around this work as we enter the journey of abundance. Thank you so much for joining me, whether you are here live or watch this later. Please write comments and feedback. I love to get back to you. If you want to make sure that you receive the information about my abundance course that I'll be starting probably in the next week or two, drop me a message there and I'll be sure to get your name on the list. You have a wonderful and abundant day. Bye now.